looks like for a small business, a flower farm, to start from absolutely nothing, ground zero, and hopefully we'll be breaking even or maybe even making a profit by year 5. Okay, welcome back. This is part 2. So I am doing a video series probably of 3 parts each every single year for the next 5 years. That's just going to go over what it looks like for a small business, a flower farm, to start from absolutely nothing, ground zero, and hopefully we'll be breaking even or maybe even making a profit by year 5, and we'll be able to give ourselves a little bit of a paycheck. But we are not anticipating paying ourselves for at least the next 5 years. But we are going to be making efforts in order to move our expenses column down a little bit and our profit column up, and hopefully it surpasses that at some point. But anyways, these 3-part series are going to include expenses. So what we are spending, what are we investing, what are we putting into our business to help it grow, to help it thrive, things like that. Second video, which is this video, is going to be our income. How much did we make? Were our tactics successful? What avenues are we getting that revenue? What percentage of our overall revenue are each of these categories representing? And then the third video is going to talk about the goals for the following year, how we plan to increase a certain category or add additional categories, and what that might look like, and what our hopes and our goals financially are within each one of those categories. So stick around, go back if you haven't watched the first one, and stick around for the next one that will be coming. And then of course, hang out here with me to talk about income. So as I said in the last video, we want to grow this business debt-free. We spent $10,994.66 of our own money, and we invested that into our business. We kept really good track of all of our expenditures, all of our receipts. We can really name it down to the dime of how much we spent on our business and where and on what. The what is actually super important because I think it helps you not only prepare and budget for the next year, but you can also look where you're overspending, maybe where you're underspending, and how you can maybe trim off some of the fat or whatever it may be in your circumstance. But for me, it's super helpful because now I can anticipate another $4,500 of expenses for next year because I know how much it cost me for the things that I needed this year or for this past growing season. And so I can anticipate. It might not be super accurate, but at least I can get a ballpark figure. Because it is coming out of our own pocket, we've already spent the money that we made from this year's our sales. So the rest of it's going to be out of pocket. So we just have to be super disciplined and hone into the things that we know we're going to need, and then really just not wiggle from that and try to be super disciplined in our spending. Okay, so income. This year, 2022, for the growing season, we made $1,532. So we made about 1/6, I don't know if the math is right there, but probably around 1/6 of what we invested. So not a whole lot of money. The first way and the thing that was most successful for us was our flower stand. So we didn't put our flower stand up until probably mid-July, actually. So it was really late in the season. And we made $922. So that figure out of the $1,532 overall was about 60% of our income. So we did really good in my eyes on the flower stand. Some things we could work on, sometimes we were open on Mondays, sometimes we were open on Fridays. We were pretty consistent about Saturdays, but we also had some vacations, and there wasn't a whole lot of consistency. So what I'm looking forward to and hoping to do next year is definitely Saturdays, Sundays. We've got to be open for those days. And then depending on the farmer's market, because we would like to jump into those next year. We weren't able to get into one this year, but we'd love to do it next year. 1 or 2 actually, depending on the day. We might add a Friday to the flower stand, but consistency I think will really help us moving forward. I think we can double or even triple that number next year. weddings. So I did 2 weddings pro bono, free of charge this year. I just said, hey, if you want to make a donation, that would be super duper. And so of those 2 weddings, I made $400, and that represented 26%. So just over a quarter of our total income. Definitely, if we can get in the wedding scene, it will really, really help our business. That's probably the highest price per stem you can earn, is through the wedding industry. I don't want to do full service. I already know that. I don't want the stress of that. I don't want to work Saturdays. I don't want to bring in a team. That I don't want to do. But I have been looking into buckets for brides who want to DIY. And I have been looking into a la carte. So creating a menu and people just pick and choose what they need. I think there's a lot of need there. I think that's maybe a chunk of people who are overlooked, the people who want to spend maybe $1,000 or $1,500, but don't want to quite do it themselves and don't have the budget for a full service wedding. So I'm looking into that. I think that would be really neat, but hoping to increase those wedding sales for next year. And then the last column, or the last kind of place that we were earning money, was from custom orders, and that was really just word of mouth, posting on Facebook, posting on Instagram, being really consistent, responding to emails and messages right away. I really didn't have to go out and sell the flowers per se in order to receive those custom orders. We just got a lot of people talking about our business and talking about, hey, we're here for you, fresh flowers, unique flowers, heirloom varieties, rare flowers, colors that are a little bit different than the kind of block colors that you're going to see in the grocery store. So 14%. So just a little bit under 15% of our total income, which again was that $1,532. So in a video that I did, I believe it was, it must have been around this time last year. I'm not really sure actually. Maybe it was earlier this year. It must have been earlier this year. I set a goal of 2,500. We didn't come close to that. We probably got 2/3 of the way, not even. But we weren't able to get into the market this year. And I think I did know that going in, and I think we were going to host a bouquet bar, and we were hoping for a couple extra weddings, hoping to sell to florists. Those things didn't come to fruition this year. There was just so much learning that had to happen this year that the money actually really didn't matter. It was really, really helpful because it has offset the costs of buying tubers and seeds and things that we placed kind of right as the fall started to roll in. We were making orders for those things to make sure that we got the cream of the crop and we got the top selection and that people weren't out of stock of their seeds yet. So we got really good stuff. And so we're so grateful for all that income that we had with that first year. And even I think year 2 and 3 are going to be filled with lots of learning. Of course, we're going to set goals for our company and for ourselves and for our business, just so that we can keep on track and we can continue to have that profit grow, and so that we can do this for the rest of our lives. John and I want to be able to work together. We want to own a business together, and yeah, we want this to be something that we can actually live off of. Like I said, when he retires from the military in about 7 years, hopefully that'll be about the time when our business is starting to grow, starting to become profitable. And so we're kind of try to merge those 2 storylines together so that we can do this forever. So really, that's all for this first year. Not a whole lot, lots of learning, lots of expenses, not a whole lot of revenue. I think a website, it would really work in our favor, but like I said in the last video, we want to really change the name to something that feels a little bit more us, and that's going to represent the farm and our, I guess, us long term. So not really sure that I want to go out and get a domain and have it be something, because as you can tell, this YouTube channel has a different name than my Instagram, than my Facebook. So at some point, once we have that name secured, we want to streamline everything, including the website. So I think that would really help with our sales. We can do pre-orders, we can do CSAs, we can do weddings, just book them right online. But we shall see. In the next video, I'm going to talk about our goals for the 2023 growing season. So stick around for that. I think it's going to be really interesting. We have a couple other avenues that we're going to try to get into, and we are going to try to multiply this business revenue by 10. So our goal next year is to earn $15,000. I will discuss a little bit of how we plan to do that in the next video. So thank you for hanging out, and we will see you next time.